na mjiweke karibu na kanisa, kwa sababu maneno ni nyingi huko nje. We are dealing with a serious crisis of addiction, na hiyo ni kitu hadi wa leo tumetoka kule Kirinyaga kuzika karibu watu 20. Tafadhali ningeomba uogope kabisa kuingia kwa maneno ya pombe. Ogopa kabisa. Ukisikia pombe inakunywa ile upande, kimbia na hii upande ingine. You will thank me later. These days many of alcohol that is being sold in our country is fake. Imewekwa uchafu, imewekwa mambo mingi na ni poison. And I know and I want to request the government to do more than it's doing. Ile pombe inauzwa hii nchi yetu, hata kama iko na jina gani, hiyo pombe ni poison, kwa sababu imekuwa na watu kidogo who want to be billionaires, wenye wanataka kutengeneza pesa nyingi sana, wanachukua advantage, wana corrupt their way in the system, wanatengeneza pombe mbaya inafika kwa bars na restaurants zetu. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka kuambia muachane na pombe. Mimi nimesimama hapa mbele yenu, sikunywangi, hata sijui inaonja aje. Mimi sijui pombe inaonja aje. Na naamka 5 na nalala tena 12 in the night. That's why unaona nimefika mahali nimefika. Na nimefika mbali, wacha niwaambie. I'm the chairman Kenya Young Parliamentarians, and among the youngest members of parliament we have in this country. The future is bright for me. Mimi nataka kuambia pia nyinyi muachane na hiyo maneno ya pombe, maneno ya bangi, maneno ya vitu zile zinaweza haribu maisha yako, na utakuwa umefika mbali zaidi ukiendelea na maisha yako. Let me say that there has been a lot of changes in our education sector, and some of them have brought a lot of questions, because there are many who are not understanding the changes that are happening. And one of them is the new funding model, which I really welcome. And I want to thank His Excellency the President for bringing a new model of funding that is student-based. Instead of looking at the budget of schools, we look at the number of students and place capitation to the students that are in every single institution we have in this country. But I want to say and tell the ministry to do more than just roll out without clear education to our students, to our parents, and to the institutions in specific. In my office, we have had many questions coming from parents on issues to do with funding of our TVET institutions. And one of the questions that is being asked is the 30,000 that the government has been giving to the institutions on behalf of every student. I believe there's a need for the relevant ministry to come out clearly and indicate whether that money, if there is any delay on the release of the funds, the students should not be chased to go home and disturb our parents. Wacha hiyo pesa kama inakuwa na shida ya kuwa released, kukuwe na communication kwa ministry, watoto wetu waendelee kusoma na waendelee na masomo, kama waambiwi mzazi aende atafute 30,000 ili amekuwa akitafuta. That is very important. Kwa sababu I have had many questions on the fate of these TVET students that are continuing. Now I believe the PS in charge should be able to give directions so that our many TVETs that are here, we have Manyata, we have Jeremiah Nyaga, we don't want our students bringing a burden to our parents on issues to do with the monies that were being given by government. And the model that we have today is a model that is looking at the most poor and giving them a bigger chunk of what is supposed to be given by government. As a matter of fact, I remember the president indicating us even 90% or even 100% for the most needy. I think that money must be clear so that every student that is admitted is knowing what amount of money they're supposed to give. And even if you are admitted and you're a continuing student, there should be a review that clearly indicates what your parents should look for without the confusion of sending our students to the parents back home and the way our economy is. The other thing is the issue of the payment method that the ministry and the government has brought. And I want to welcome the idea of bringing the payments for government services to e-citizen. I welcome that idea. But I also want to caution in the same breath that there are some places where not everybody can get the e-citizen services due to lack of connectivity and lack of digitization of our places. So I want also to call upon the government, while we are rolling out one platform, the e-citizen platform, for payments of our schools and our institutions, we also ensure there is a very clear way of ensuring that our parents are able to access these services, so that we don't bring the confusion of the payments that are not able to reach the right people. So I want to caution that and say that we welcome the idea, but we also caution and say that there should be a clear way of showing that these monies are able to get to e-citizen, they are well indicated on their role, and there is a clear way of knowing somebody has paid or not. And I believe it takes a lot to get there. And the genuinity of it is that we want to ensure we minimize on loss of our revenue and taxes. But let's not have delays on services that we receive due to payment of these monies, because there was a confusion in the e-citizen indication of what this money was for.
One of the functions and the mandate of COOPS is to prepare career guidance programs for the benefit of students. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni yetu, na we have put money, even investment katika hiyo. Kuna programs, kuna even vitabu inaandikwa, tumeandika vitabu ambavyo tunadistribute katika secondary schools na sehemu zote, ili the career guidance teachers ama masters waisome na waweze kuguide the students appropriately. Kwa hivyo hiyo kitabu yetu tunai review all the time ili to embrace the new areas of careers which have come and which the students should be informed and guided. Kwa hivyo wakati chairman wa TSC amesema hivyo, labda alikuwa anaongea wakati wao wa zamani, lakini wakati huu that one is happening, and even we are planning to have courses and to have a way of retraining and training career guidance teachers, and we have those programs katika mipango yetu, and it is funded. Kwa hivyo that one lazima tuone kwamba wanafunzi wamepata the correct and the most recent career interests or career areas where they can develop. For example, our government now is implementing the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and it has important areas of emphasis: agriculture, IT, and all those other things. That is where we are directing career guidance, so that those students musomee hivyo ili mutapata kazi na mutaingia katika uchumi na kusaidia katika kujenga uchumi ya Kenya. Katika performance ya Embu, niyo nilimwambia hapa kitambo, performance ya Embu katika KCSE this year 2023, Embu is number 27 katika orodha ya all the counties ambao walifanya KCSE last year 27. Na nilikuwa explain vile ambavyo tuna compute ile tunaita percentage ya performance. That means watoto wote ambao wamepata C+ and above ambao wanaweza kwenda university, tuna wafanya as a percentage of the total number of students ambao walifanya KCSE, kuna national figure na kuna county figure. National figure, mheshimiwa, ya mwaka huu, total number of students who entered for KCSE, it is 22.48%. When we cascade it down, kugawa watoto ambao waliingia katika KCSE in Embu walikuwa 13,915, na wale ambao walikuwa juu walipata C plus and above ni 2,842. Our percentage is 20% in Embu. The national percentage for Embu for the Kenya is 22.48%. So it means we are below the national number. Hiyo nakwambia kwa sababu lazima uambie kuna kazi itafanywa hapa na walimu na viongozi na kila mtu ambaye anahusika na mambo ya performance ya mashule katika kaunti hii, kwa sababu sasa hata tuko chini. Mheshimiwa, nakwambia the international index ni 30%. That is 30% of the children who do the exam ya ku transition to the university it must be 30% of the total who take the exam. Now Kenya bado tuko chini, lakini tumefanya vizuri, manake last year tulikuwa 19.9%, lakini sasa tuko 20.48%. Lakini katika hii list kuna counties ambao wako above 30, hiyo ya international. Kuna counties ambao wako even huko juu kabisa. So what we are saying, kuna kazi ya kufanya because tunataka Embu ipite 30% transition ili tuweze kuwa hata vizuri katika national average. Na hiyo ndio message ambayo nataka kutoa mheshimiwa, ili akienda kutana na wale viongozi wengine ajue ya kwamba Embu kuna kazi inatakiwa kufanywa katika promotion na ku-encourage watoto wa form 4 ukianza kule chini form 1, ili wakati unafanya mitihani tupite hiyo namba, because Embu we are known to do well.
We are willing to work together. For those who are joining BEd, what we are advising you, ukiwa campus kama vile mmeambiwa na dada yenu. I know when people are in the university wanafanya maneno kama corporate. Degree ni corporate. But when you come to employment is not corporate, it's individual. So the way you have been advised, kindly, in the issues of relationship, you have to be very, very, very careful. Very, very careful. You have heard what you have been told. Some of you have been given government money. That money is not for free. It is a loan that you are going to repay. So if you misuse it with assumed, in quotes, husbands and wives, when you come to repay, you repay alone. You repay alone. We also encourage you, attend the classes. Attend the classes, my dear ones. When you fail to attend the lectures, then you have an issue with the comprehension of your degree. And remember, when you delay, there are some students who become PNP, permanent and pensionable students. Mtu amekaa university miaka 8 badala ya miaka 4. Let us avoid drug and substance abuse. It's a main enemy in university education. And if you have a challenge, then can you be able to go for guidance and counseling. To the Form 4s, I wish you well. We will be coming to our schools with the EXCO and the ECA to mentor you further and ensure that we support you so that you can make it in life. Remember Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful tool that you can use to transform the world. Even if we don't have tyranny of numbers, let us have tyranny of brains. God bless you.
To get a minimum mean grade C+, and 2 teaching subjects you get C+. That is the requirement from TSC. With the COOPS portal, because we also invite the trainers, the trainers had also asked that you have some English for to enable you deliver the subject, and then you also have some maths to enable you rank your students, do the main grade and main scores. But now, for the regulator, the TSC, they need a C+ in two teaching subjects, a C+ in main grade. So that is the requirement. And the advice I have for the student is that even if you want to go do private studies, go self-sponsored privately, please visit COOPS or look at that COOPS document, because we have gone to every regulator and asked them what they require you to have obtained in Form 4 to join that career.
And remember, Embu was a citadel of education for a very long time. A lot of things I think went down, especially the day schools have not been performing too well. Now, what you do every year, we have a clinic, and then from last year we started with this mentoring session with COOPS, because we realized getting the COOPS portal is very complicated. We don't even know how to get into the portal. Selecting courses, the combinations have also been a challenge, and we have got career masters, but I think we still allow them not able to tell our children. For example, somebody wants to become an engineer, and they dropped physics in Form 2. They didn't like the physics teacher. They find themselves stuck. They want to become a medical doctor or even a nurse, and they dropped biology in Form 2. Again, for similar reasons. Then again, you are stuck with the COOPS portal. So every year we've been inviting them since last year. Let's talk to our children. Excuse me. Talk to our kids about how do you select the courses, what the combination required, how do you navigate the COOPS portal. Then again, from 2019, we've been having a clinic every year to every sub-county. We started in Chicago in 2019, went to Runyenjes 2021, 2022 we're in the Shikiri, now we're somewhere in Manyata around May of this year. Now the COOPS chairman mentioned that the international rates of transition from high school to university is about 30%. As a country, only hitting at 22%. As a county, we're even below that at 20%, which is very, very low. I think the day schools probably should be contributing to a bit of that. And I think it's something that we need to really think of, because I think to succeed in education, you require a lot of facilities. For example, the infrastructure. You need the principals to be up to the task and committed. You also need the board of governors, board of management members to also be committed. So if all those pillars are not working in harmony, including the parents, then something is wrong. There's a school, for example, that my uncle was teaching and his wife. All my cousins were in that primary school. Today, when I go to that school, none of the teachers' children go to that school. What does it tell you?